doing? Just got done changing the clutch cable to my 71 Type 2. You can see the windows out. That's another project working on this winter. So this is a bit of a fun endeavor. You can see there's the broken end, I'll show you that, of the clutch cable. Originally I thought it was just a spring in the back that actually gives the tension and pops the clutch up. That was the issue. Later found out that it was a snap cable like I had originally thought. So just to walk you through very quickly and basically how this works. Here is the front of the clutch cable. You see a small pin in here. That's what fastens it to the clutch. You can see the clutch is now working because it's popped out. So what happens is there's a spring at the tail end here, and what that does is it actually pulls this guy back, and when it pulls it back, it pushes the clutch up, right? And when you let go and you push the clutch down, it actually gives it slack. Okay, so when you don't have this cable, there's no tension, and it won't reset. So the issue that I had was the clutch was completely sunk into the floor, and that means you can't drive. So obviously there's hydraulic clutch that doesn't exist in these vehicles. So there's this long cable that runs and does the resetting for us. So kind of tracing this cable back, you can see, like I said, it does run the entire length of the car. Right about here is where, and I'll get under the hood here and show you where it connects, but just a synopsis of the issue. Like I said, there's the front, it goes all the way here to the back. I try to simulate what had happened. Here you can see where it actually had snapped. I did replace a couple pieces here. This is the rubber coating. I think this was maybe like $10. Clutch cable was maybe 30, 40 bucks. I can't remember. This spring was maybe $4. So, definitely under $100, maybe $70 most to replace this entire concept. So what had happened was I found essentially this on the ground. Actually, I only found this piece. And so after I got under the hood, I found that, this was the issue, or so I thought at the time. So what this does, and I'll get under the hood and show you, but this was level. You basically have this spring, and it catches this little lever here. This is my chisel, but I'm pretend so. This hook actually catches that, and it drives it forward. And then there's a wing nut that you screw on here that catches here, and it pulls the clutch cable forward. So as it pulls it forward, the brake line, the clutch cable makes the brake line pop. So when I had first tried to change this, what you saw, or what I saw here, was that this was broken. So I replaced this, and the clutch cable was still on the floor. So then I gave this a little bit of a tug, and boop, it just popped out. I said, crap, it's the clutch cable. It's exactly what I thought was the problem. So luckily I had already bought the clutch cable, so I just tried to put it in, tried to feed it in, and I couldn't actually. There's another pipe that connects here under the van, and it stopped. I couldn't get it any further. And so I thought, okay, well, is it clogged? Come to find out, at the time it was, and you can see that it was clogged from this piece of rubber coating here. It didn't look like this originally. This is after me trying to yank it off. So I had to buy this piece. It was a little bit frustrating, but you can see in a hole what happened here was that gunk had essentially got caught in this rubber clutch cable casing, and over time, I assume dirt and grime just kind of eroded and just wore this guy down. And then when it snapped, because there was so much tension that this old rusty spring had, when it popped forward, it couldn't handle it, and it snapped. So that's the root cause in a nutshell here. Let me grab my flashlight, and I will get under the hood and see if I can give you a better image of what happened. All right. So already you can see this was this right here was where that new piece that I bought starts, and it goes all the way up to here, right? And this is where it had snapped right back here. So when I replaced it, let's see if I can get up in here, you can see there's that spring right here that I was talking about, and it grabs this lever. There's that wing nut, right? And it pushes this guy forward. Let's see if I get a better angle for you. There we go. So it catches the wing nut and it pulls it forward. So it's all set up. It's ready to go right now. So I found, like I said, this spring here. That was a broken piece. And then when I replaced it, there was still no slack. I gave the clutch cable here a bit of a tug and it fell out. So then I found out that the grime was right here, corroded, broke the clutch cable, and I had to get this piece off. So at the time the new clutch cable had already fed through. When I finally did get this guy off, fed right up in, and you can see this is how he comes off. So you just take a socket, grab these guys, take this piece off, this lowers, and that's why they have this guy. It does provide a slight angle to get up, to give it that tension. So otherwise it would have just been a straight shot. So yeah, you can see this guy runs all the way to the front, and that's it. So replace this piece, replace the clutch cable that's protruding here, and then replaced this spring here that grabs the hook and pulls this lever forward, where that, again, that's where the wing nut catches and gives tension to the clutch cable. So yeah, now we're gonna fire her up and see how she goes. Thanks.